All right. Good morning, everyone. Uh, so apologies again for having stream end on a crash. I still don't really know what the problem is. I put the crash from yesterday into the OBS analyzer thing, and it didn't say there was anything wrong, but I am going to try I turned off, like it keeps giving me a warning for Windows new option for hardware accelerated GPU scheduling, and it says that that can cause conflicts with OBS. It hasn't caused a problem before this, but I turned it off because, I'm running out of things. I don't know what the fuck the problem is. And the other thing, uh, I noted in the middle of, like, after it crashed the first time yesterday, is the VRAM issue. Uh, I noticed that after I reset, or when I came back to do the second half of the stream, I had textures set to low, and it worked for like 2 hours straight. And then I ran into that problem where the posters suddenly the textures weren't loading in, so I changed them up to medium, and then the posters textures loaded in, so I just left it there. And then like 20 minutes later or whatever, we had a crash. So I turned it back down to low. And I guess we'll just see. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to have these, like, the RTSS and like the graphs on the screen, because I know it's just clutter and no one really wants to see that. But I want to be able to see, if and when the game crashes again, I want to be able to go back to the VOD and just like look at what the stats were at the time it crashed, just to see if there's any indication on what's going on. So I do apologize in advance for having all this stuff on screen, but I don't really know what else to do. So anyways, we are continuing with Control. Last time, right before it crashed, I at least did get to the thing I wanted to do, which was to meet Marshall, which is the next milestone objective. One thing I did want to do, though, is I like to switch up costumes every once in a while. And I did a little tweaking. I did a save edit. I don't want to unlock all the outfits straight away because getting most of them isn't too hard. I really like the director suit. This is actually a modified version with different colors. The regular one is blue and like gray shirt, I think. I don't really like it that much. I like these colors. But anyways, you don't get this director suit until you beat the main game, after which it's kind of, it'll be kind of hard for me to show it off. So I like using this suit every once in a while. And I figured might as well to unlock this one since otherwise we won't be seeing it too often. So also I have some abilities to unlock, or that I can use to unlock. So let's do more launch damage. Okay. And then we will get back to... Oh, actually, there's also a couple... like... I was just running around the oldest house yesterday after the stream, trying to figure out like graphics settings and whatnot, and I did run across a few areas that I hadn't been to, and some notes that I hadn't picked up. So there's a couple right here, so let's do that. Paired utility. Objects of power are unique in their capacity to grant certain individuals paranatural abilities. We call these individuals para-utilitarians. The potency of these abilities depends on the para-utilitarian. Using the blank object of power as an example, some para-utilitarians can achieve a throw distance of blank, while others are only capable of as little as blank. What exactly determines an individual's paranatural competence is unknown, but it is largely believed that some blank exists within the body, and that, like all muscles, it can be exercised. To continue my analysis, I've officially requested access to the Northmore records, considering he is one of the most accomplished para-utilitarians the Bureau has ever seen. Dr. Darling is still considering this request. And like we talked about last stream, Northmore, I'm not sure if it ever really goes into like what his deal is, but he was able to bind multiple objects of power to himself. But unlike, can I wait? Well, no. Unlike Jesse, he was not able to contain it and kind of blew himself up. So, whoops. And basically all level 1 mod items you could just get rid of straight out. It's not worth it. Damage might be worth keeping at this point, but I only have one mod. Actually, now since the control point is right there, I will see if I can modify the gun to get 2 mod slots going.
This is all because some altered item got loose. I'm gonna kill Langston.
Yeah, okay. And Pierce is the sniper rifle construct. Sort of. It's it has a slight zoom to it, but it's a charged single shot gun. That's not the director. Oh, actually, it would probably help if I added the mod, right? Okay, so now I have 28% and 15%, so should be a little better. Now, if you have seen the Firebreak trailer, you might have a guess as to what's going on behind that door. Agent Death Notification. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Potts, I regret to inform you that your son, Graham Potts, was killed in active duty this past week. While the details surrounding his death are classified, I am honored to tell you that he died in the service of his country. You can be proud of his courage in the face of danger and his commitment to protecting our nation against her enemies. He will be remembered by his comrades and colleagues. I sincerely regret the pain this message will bring you. Take some solace in knowing that his sacrifice helped protect the country he loves so much. His effects will be returned to you with all speed.
HRA survived. Interesting.
And then there's one over here in dead letters. Fake planes. Dear New York Tribune, airplanes aren't real. I figured out how they do it. The windows are TV screens. The whole thing moves on big tracks like a roller coaster that moves through underground tunnels in the earth. Airports are more like train stations. They do this because the sky is full of monsters that they don't want us to know about. The planes we see in the sky are the monsters. The government made the earth trains look like the monsters so they could lie to us better. Don't contact me. Havana supplement. Bureau medical staff personally evaluated the injured embassy personnel when they arrived back in the country. While the victims reported cognitive issues, dizziness, and fatigue, further testing by Bureau medics found intense cell damage similar to that of radiation exposure. Agents and research staff remained to take soil samples from the surrounding area but found no trace of blank beyond the health issues of the staff. The communications department disseminated a story of foreign powers using blank on the embassy staff, resulting in various health issues that required the embassy to be evacuated. The story successfully took hold, gaining brief international attention. Nope, that's not the right way. Data breach. Last month, our on-site server experienced an intrusion by unauthorized users. After a thorough investigation, it was confirmed that the users only accessed a video file, which contained portions of various Dr. Darling presentations. Investigators were able to track the users through their IP addresses. The following are confirmed identities of these users: Patrick Strugens, Rubens Noguera, Arto Klomaki, Christopher Mills Bowling, Jocko Sarnin. These individuals are a breach of Bureau Code 91 and have been placed under surveillance by our external investigations team. Further action is pending. So one thing that's kind of hinted at a couple of times in the main game, but you'll see a lot more of in the Alan Wake DLC, is that there are outside operators who know, like, the FBC is not the only organization operating and doing things with altered items. There are individual actors like those people, and then there are actual, like, other organizations, both good and bad, who are doing their own things with altered items. Okay, so that was the last one that I had in my notes to pick up. So let's continue to Central Research. Actually, while we are in Central Research, maybe we should grab... Oh, actually, we need to go to the HRA lab anyways. Okay. Whatever. Oh, nope. That one. Okay.
They're studying down the hall. I heard it steals your soul.
Don't worry. We've already sold yours by working here.
Well, that's a comforting thought. So this is where the game crashed last time. Let's see what happens. I was like a minute from where I was gonna quit the stream too. That was kind of annoying. Like, I was gonna quit right after I got this control point finished, but it crashed right here, so... Damn! That dude took some hits. Piss warped. Hiss Warped wield only paranatural abilities similar to drifters. They are able to telekinetically shield themselves with nearby material and launch objects at their target. These entities are particularly destructive and difficult to kill, possibly indicating a greater internal reinforcement of Hiss resonance. Why do certain Hiss display paranatural abilities while others rely on Bureau firearms? Do certain corrupted entities have less potential than the hosts that become Hiss Warped? Or is this perhaps an indication of evolution or maturation of the Hiss corruption? Are there other stages of evolution yet to be found? What if the Hiss inhabits a host for a month, a year? Do hosts expire after a certain amount of time? Does the corruption become too strong for an organic body to endure? Only time and well-documented observation will tell. Well, I guess according to FBC Firebreak, the answer is that they can last for several years. I do not understand the decision that for the next game that the oldest house has literally been on lockdown for 6 years at that point, and presumably longer because it's only like that is a costume we will be getting, I guess, much later. You have to have a lock or a clearance key to unlock this door that we don't have yet. But I do not understand the decision to keep the oldest house on lockdown that long and have the story be that the oldest, like, they can't get out or do anything, because I was really hoping that the next game would be outside the oldest house and for them to be, like, I don't know, maybe investigate stuff outside the house, but to keep it within the oldest house because people, you know, liked the oldest house, I guess. That doesn't make any much sense to me. We've been in the oldest house, you know, do something new. As a test, television sets were placed in a variety of locations around the world inside rooms identically decorated. The hypothesis was that by identically altering the decor of every room and then changing the channel in every room but one, that the single differing television would spontaneously align the incoming frequency to match its synchronized counterparts. The experiment seemed like a failure until it was observed that the agents responsible for arranging and monitoring these rooms were all experiencing the same emotional turmoil as one clinically depressed member of the team, himself being located in the eastern part of blank. Psychological examination of the agents proved the correlation. Interestingly, the phenomenon of synchronicity did occur, but not in the way we predicted. So yeah, this is one of those moments where we get a preview of what we're doing later. Oh yeah, I guess I still need to get the control point done. No, that's where I came from. I can't remember if there was anything in the bathrooms up here, but I decided not to look to help out the rangers. I think I did check this out. Yeah, okay. Oh, we were just in the synchronicity lab. And this is the door that we can't get through that goes out to the central research elevator. Carla, file received. Thank you for the file. It was very helpful. I've re-archived it with the BlackRock research in case you need to refer to them again. Yes, the video shoots are always interesting. I expect my availability for those to decrease in the future, however, as my analysis of this newly discovered BlackRock variant is reaching a critical point. I hope you will be able to attend them still. Darling seems to be under a lot of pressure lately, and I'm sure he would appreciate any support you can provide. Regarding the analysis you provided, I do not have any questions. Thank you for the expeditious delivery. Shut him down. Not that he didn't deserve it. Come on, bro. Can't be asking out your coworker, especially through a letter. Come on, man. You don't do that.
The forest of positive interactions. So I play this and get in the tank. Okay. Self-reflection can bring answers. I read that somewhere.
Rituals. Obsessive compulsive disorder, hoarding, anxiety disorders. While certain manifestations of these conditions are simply the result of mental illness, we don't like to refer to it like that anymore. Sometimes the individuals are simply performing blank called rituals. The blank of rituals can vary. Numerology, dream logic, forfeiture, verbal formulae, repetitive action, and casual tethering are just some of the procedures involved. Some rituals are consistent, such as pulling the light switch cord 3 times to enter the motel, but some are erratic. While most people engage in minor rituals every day, the vast majority do not understand the importance behind their actions. Avoiding disaster, amassing luck, or simply locating lost keys are all the results of daily rituals. Individuals who recognize the deeper meaning behind these compulsive actions are inherently aware of the paranatural world and, when located, should be considered for employment at the Bureau. Where are you? I swear I'm doing this for a reason. There's a box up here. I thought there was a box up here. I could have sworn there was a box up here. Okay, well, now I just look stupid. I thought there was a box up here. Oh, I just missed it. It's way the fuck over there. Okay. Okay. Didn't even need the stuff that was in it, but... The rubber duck.
Altered item number 52AE analysis, session 2. I will begin by introducing various stimuli to the item. First, a low voltage electric shock. No response. Next, I will introduce heat via a standard Bunsen burner. No response. Next, a series of solutions will be applied, each with a different value on the pH scale, from 0 to 14. No response to any value. Next, I will attempt to communicate. Can you understand me? Can you understand my words? Quack if you can understand my words. No response. This concludes session 2. We'll need time to prepare further tests.
This way to the lab? Okay. You must like these HRAs. Sounds like Darling built them. And most of the things around here. If Marshall can't help us with Dylan, he's our next best bet. Assuming he's not dead. Or taken over by the hiss.
You heard that, right? I've actually never done this. Okay, spoilers, but you're supposed to come in here later. But I've never actually tried to climb this thing beforehand. I don't know if it'll work or not. Oh, come on. Oh. It's just gonna roll out, huh? Well, that's no fun. Okay, well, whatever. You do get in there later, so that's not really important to try it now. Okay, uh-huh. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hate these puzzles, because I'm stupid.
Let me hear. Any idea how to make it work?
Sure, Jesse, just start
Hello
pressing
again,
the
Director.
random
It
buttons.
appears we have a new problem. We need to get the HRA machine working.
I've replaced a couple of spark plugs, but this looks a bit more complicated.
Darling must have had a system. Randomness isn't in his nature. The punch cards, the symbols, the terminals. How do they connect?
I'll see what I can do.
Black rock prisms. Black rock prisms are unique formations of black rock, distinct in both their shape and potency. While the density of black rock dampens paranatural forces, the unique blank resonance structure of prisms retain frequencies in the range of blank to blank with perfect blank harmonization. This report analyzes the results of focusing a blank through a harmonized prism onto a blank, methods for the imprinting of non-physical fields onto blank, imbuing them with the properties of the harmonized resonance blank in the prism will be explored and explained.
We need to find all the punch cards.
Can you just give me the answer, Marshall? Please?
Embracing the erratic, an audio journey. This must be one of those sensory tank tapes.
You think if, like, how many times I played this game, I would just, like, know the answer, but like I said, I'm stupid. Okay, so one is, I think, grid. Oh, and I'm missing a punch card. And then, where's punch card 5?
Each punch card should correspond to a terminal.
Oh, right there. Okay, so 5 is not that one, which doesn't really help. Oh, it's that one. Watch this be completely wrong. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I was right. Go me.
The prism shattered.
I noticed.
Darling's prototypes have a lot of issues. We need a new plan. We need more Blackrock prisms to make this machine work. Darling has another lab, down in the Blackrock processing site in maintenance. That must be where he keeps the prisms.
I've been to maintenance already. I can find my way. But how long will that take? Nothing here is simple. I need to ask her now, before I go. I need something from you first. What do you know about Faden?
I knew this was coming. Lives are at stake here, and we need this machine working to save those lives. Once that is done, Director-Faden, then we can talk.
She's right. As much as I don't want to admit it. I'm the only one who can help. Fine. I'll get the prisms first. Dylan will have to wait just a little longer. But don't call me Director. Jesse is fine.
I'll call you Faden. Here, you'll need this keycard.
Thanks. Emily Pope has set up a base in Executive. Once I have the prism, I'll meet you there.
Right. I'll move out immediately. And keep an eye out for Darling. Finding him might be the key to stopping the hiss.
With just one large-scale HRA. It's there now. We are about to be exposed to a different kind of resonance. Hostile, viral, invasive resonance. That's what the Hedron resonance amplifiers are for. Taking the protection Hedron can provide us and keeping us from being wiped out.
Here, this will lead back to Central Research.
Alright, well, good luck, I guess. Oh, was there... I feel like there was a note that I had found somewhere in here that I forgot to pick up. Maybe in Darling's office? Nope. Whoa, shit. That was close.
I've been fielding questions recently regarding HRAs. What are they for?
Okay, maybe it was not Darling's office. I thought I ran into one yesterday when I was running around. Okay, well, whatever. If I find it again, I will mark it down on my list. I think. I really want to turn all this stuff off on my screen, but I feel like as soon as I turn it off, that will be the moment that the game crashes.
Marshall knows something about Dylan. Is he here? Is he alright? HRAs first. They'll help save everyone, including Dylan, once I find him. Can you keep him safe? Like you do with me?
Damn it. I really wish the melee was more powerful because just like the base stat is more powerful, because there's obviously a lot more important stats that you need to deal with before you can start putting it into melee, because most of the time you're dealing with ranged combat and stuff. But I think the melee is a cool move, but everybody you fight is just so like they have so much more health than your base melee stat that like you just do no damage. Even when you get them, when you hurt enemies, you have to get them down to like one sliver of health before the melee will actually kill anybody. I wish it was just if they boosted it so I don't know, maybe if they were down to like a quarter health or maybe like a half health, so it's like a cool finishing move or something. But Tennyson report warning. Okay, listen. Trench is on the warpath about this Tennyson report thing. He wants to know who wrote it, and he wants to know yesterday. Whoever did is gonna get crucified. I don't know if it was one of you guys, and I don't want to know. I'm not super keen on leading a witch hunt, so tell everyone in the sector to keep their heads down. Best not to be on anyone's radar right now, you know? I tell you, not even counting all the weird shit we have to deal with, this place can be downright hostile work environment sometimes. Oh, we got a good one. I don't know where that fucking thing came from. No, don't come back. Okay. I don't know what those turbines do, but I know I probably don't want to break shit, right? It could be important. Notice, Ocean View Motel and Casino entry points. The law of 3 applies. Ritual attunement required. Agent must orient an anchor motel to their personal frequencies. Okay, so this is an interesting and neat kind of... The Ocean View Motel apparently also occupies a real place on Earth, or at least an Earth similar enough to where the people are speaking English. Okay, now this is the setup. Oh, sorry. Chair's supposed to be up. And now the black rock is complete. Or the fire break is complete, I should say. Helps if I went down the right hallway. I'm once again asking, how the hell do they actually build any of this shit? It would be more believable to me if, like, there was a memo saying that somehow
Okay,
they could...
we need to find a way to Blackrock processing. That's where Marshall said we'd find a prism.
if they could attune the house to their needs, so, like, the house built, like, makes these things on its own. But as far as I know, there's nothing like that. I don't know. I'm not sure what that is that I'm supposed to be picking up. Oh, it's the radio. Okay. Oh, actually, hang on.
Reminder: if the contents of your workspace have been rearranged, removed, added to, or altered in any other way, you should immediately leave the area while speaking to yourself in a reassuring tone. This will not only keep you calm, but also the room. Thank you for your attention.
Atlas theory. The Atlas is a physical expression created by the oldest house. Its purpose and function are currently unknown. The specific shape and dimensions of the Atlas seem to indicate a more explicit purpose than the oldest house's usual walls, floors, or shifts. The Atlas changes form, but resists observation when doing so. No visual observation has been made during its change, and it only ever occurs between frames when monitored by surveillance cameras. That must be pretty fucking quick. A previous theory was that this change corresponds to house shifts and that the Atlas is a blank of the blank itself. However, the shape changes do not occur at the same time as building shifts, which makes this theory doubtful. Structurally, the Atlas is made of the same blank material as the rest of the oldest house. Further observation will hopefully aid in discovering its purpose. Actually, I'm going to pause right here. I need to use the restroom. Okie doke. Oh, sounds like there's a battle going on somewhere. Motherfucker shot me with a rocket. Speak with. Hey, Arish. How'd you get where the fuck over here, man? Oh, okay. That's a lot of guns. Did you see Jesse running around the hallways with an M60? Nope. Kind of hard to see.
During an AWE investigation, our agents discovered a light switch cord in a Butte bungalow closet. They pulled the cord and were instantly transported to the Ocean View Motel and Casino. Dream like haze. Inside, they found a door marked with an inverted black pyramid. And just like that, it led back to the oldest house, some 2,000 miles from Montana. Now we're finding the cord in increasing numbers throughout the Bureau. Somehow the two places, they became in tune to each other. The actual physical location of the Ocean View is a mystery. Stepping beyond its walls has so far proven impossible. A place of power, like the oldest house. During an AWE investigation,
And as we just saw, there is a physical location somewhere.
Bungalow closet.
Do as you're told. Don't eat mold. Even the smallest amount of mold can cause serious harm. Contact security immediately. So, the Atlas. Do not touch or obstruct. Report any Atlas movement to on-duty researcher. This structure created by the oldest house is the subject of ongoing research. Any tampering will be considered a Class B felony. Contact the cartography department for more details. You know, one thing I've never done is like come back to check on this to see if it changes throughout the game. I should do that sometime.
Still you. Medic, what's the damage?
Oh, oops.
Hey, thanks for bringing down that... whatever the fuck that was. But we are barely holding on here, boss. How's the situation outside maintenance?
What do I tell him? The truth is harsh, but these people seem familiar with death.
The Hiss are everywhere. Most of the Bureau is lost. We need Blackrock Prism to make more HRAs for any survivors in the safe rooms. I'm here to check Darling's Blackrock lab.
So to recap, death, disaster, and imminent destruction. Another day at the FBC. Well, Darling's lab is just past Blackrock processing. I got good news and I got bad news on that front. Good news is, it's right down the hall. Bad news is, a Hiss monster has decided to move in, so that's great.
Monster.
That's what the Rangers said. The ones that survived, anyway. We are just treading water here, and the Hiss keep coming. Salvador would know what to do, but apparently he took a security team into the containment sector just before the lockdown happened, and well, no one's seen him since. But hey, at least we got you, our fearless leader.
They shouldn't rely on me. They don't know me. They don't know how I failed people.
You've done a good job here, Arish, but you should take your people and get to the base in Executive. You can regroup there. I'll go deal with this monster. I'm getting kind of used to them.
Aye, aye, Faden. And be sure to put a bullet in that thing for me.
One, I'm gonna put several.
Ranger Squad Charlie 7 returned from an expedition into the quarry threshold just after 0500 Zulu. Can you please state your names and describe the purpose of your expedition?
Kevin Horowitz, Rupert Well.
I'm not doing
Our
so
mission
bad.
was to map
You're
quarry
fine.
grid coordinates
We'll push through this.
G29.
The Hiss are the ones
Secondary
doing the
objective,
pushing back.
as always, was to find a route from the threshold entrance and maintenance to the formation. Secondary objective was not a success. What a surprise.
And did you encounter any previously...
Horowitz and Wells. Keep those names in mind.
Nothing. Do you think we should tell him about the mermaid?
Excuse me?
Yeah, the mermaid. Horowitz here found this mermaid in the quarry, just sitting on some black rock.
They've each taken a
She
few
was
hits.
singing this beautiful
We need to get them to a
song.
surgical
He was
station
overcome with
ASAP,
desire.
but I don't think they're stable enough to move.
She was so
Yeah?
alluring.
I'd say she was more enchanting than alluring.
Fine, enchanting.
Did you tell your CO about this?
No. Because it didn't happen.
Nothing happened. As usual, the quarry is full of rocks. That's it. Can we go now?
Fuck you guys. Get out of here.
Hey, remember the deal. You kill a Hiss, I buy a shot. Bottom shelf only.
Bottom shelf only. Marshall, trench behavior. To Salvador. Have you noticed this recent tension between Trench and Darling? They've both been acting odd lately. Trench concerns me the most. His sudden hostility towards Darling's project is very unlike him. He was the one to approve all this Hedron research in the first place, but after Darling unveiled those HRAs, he was livid. I personally don't see any reason not to equip Bureau staff with an additional protective device, especially not if it's as strong as Darling says. What do you make of this? Have you seen anything from either of them that strikes you as odd? Let's talk in person soon, before the next Bureau heads meeting. Okay, let's deal with this monster.
Arish wasn't kidding about that monster.
Damn. Swan boat procedures. Description: altered effect. Item is made of fiberglass, painted to resemble a swan. Foot pedals allow the item to propel it forward in water. The item emits a pulse of physical force at an estimated force of blank. Possible connection to OP5. Measuring the exact force created by the item has been hindered by concerns from the Human Resources Department. Background: the item was seized from an activity rental service called Blank, located on Lake Blank in Vancouver Island, Canada, after it ejected numerous riders over the course of a summer, bringing the boat to the attention of the media. The item was transported to the Bureau by helicopter, and containment specialists accompanied it, sent to recite formulas C9 through 32 recursively. What occurred in the helicopter is not known, but all agents were lost in the crash. The item was recovered and then transported by train. It arrived at the Bureau without further incident. Acquisition date, June 24th, 1983. And that will be in the Panopticon Floor 5, Unit 10.
You showed me the HRA when I first got here, and the machine that makes them. Can you help me find a prism?
Maybe it's in that big glowing box over there. Perhaps. Maybe.
Shit! They're shattered. What the fuck?
Like invisible things in most games, you just have to look out for the trail. Hiss-distorted agents are able to render themselves invisible and emit a powerful concussive blast when in close range of their target. Curiously, the Hiss-distorted is apparently not able to utilize both abilities at once. It must make itself visible when it goes on the offensive. The Distorted is unique in the fact that it wields a paranatural ability previously unknown to the Bureau, perhaps tapping into a yet undiscovered object of power. How does this invisibility work? Does the Distorted become resonance temporarily? Does it use Hiss resonance to refract light? The physical deformation of this particular Hiss entity is noteworthy in its thoroughness. Clearly, the human host would have died from such extreme alteration, which prompts the question, are the corrupted simply animated corpses?
Let's hurry up and find Darling's lab.
There are areas in the oldest house where, under the right conditions, when the frequencies match, other dimensions leak in. We call these areas thresholds. The quarry is one of the more stable thresholds in the maintenance sector. That's where black rock comes from. Extra-dimensional matter. It has the unique property of blocking out a lot of frequencies. A good thing. It keeps things stable, contained. Think of it as paranatural lead. Our research involves many dangerous things we absolutely need to keep in check. That's what the Black Rock Line fire breaks are about. The panopticon container cells.
Sorry to interrupt, sir, but I need the code for the quarry elevator.
Oh, Emily. The codes. Black Rock 665. Neighbor of the Beast. Get it? We can do that again if you... Where under the right conditions, the frequencies match.
BlackRock. BlackRock has allowed the Bureau to make great strides in containment procedures since it was first discovered. This report will examine how its very structure is comprised of blank density that nullifies all resonances with a range of blank to blank hertz. Bureau innovations that incorporate BlackRock will be analyzed, most notably the fire breaks, feats of engineering designed to contain any future outbreaks, attacks, or other internal threats. The goal of this report is to encourage Bureau staff to explore further innovations using BlackRock, as work in that field has markedly slowed in recent years.
We call these areas thresholds. The quarry is one of the more stable thresholds in the maintenance sector. That's where BlackRock comes from.
You heard that too, right? BlackRock comes from a threshold quarry. So the prisms must be there too.
Think of it as parallax.
This should get us into the quarry.
Clearance level 5. It's just to make things a little easier on myself later. I do see you up there, although I'll probably forget about it by the time I get out of here.
Everything here is crazy. Weird, but it feels right. Like how the world should be. I am in an infinite building leading to different dimensions, and I never want to leave. Even with all the horror, I'm happy. It feels sane.
Well, I tell you what.
Just the right kind of insane.
You might be regretting that statement in a few years or so. Okay, hang on. Oh. Oh. Yes. And, hey, remember this place? A few hours ago? Need 8 ability points. Oh, don't, yeah, okay, I was gonna say, don't do me like that, man. Okay, now I'm getting a little worried because we are approaching 5 gigs VRAM, so let's see what happens. Now, here you can see Northmore in the container. And he is flaming hot. He does not look happy either. He's like chained up in there. that must be a pretty NSC internal movement detected. I'm guessing that's a bad thing. That's got to be a bad way to go, man. NSC. The NSC was designed by order of Deputy Chief Trench shortly before he became the director. Oh, okay. NSC, blank sarcophagus container. Northmore sarcophagus. Okay, this is how fucked up this thing is. The NSC was designed by order of Deputy Chief Trench shortly before he became director. The container provides a safe method of extraction of, I guess, heat, energy, of Northmore's excess energy output while acting as a humane way to house him. The coolant pumps keep the container and its resident from overheating while the energy is siphoned. The energy is then conducted to the converters, excuse me, where it is rendered into a blank through the use of turbine generators. The electricity produced powers the entire bureau, making us completely self-sufficient and effectively invisible to the New York City grid. After NSC-1's disappearance by some unknown manifestation of Northmore's power, the occupant was restrained and a second model was built. NSC-02 possesses built-in spatial anchors that are designed to prevent any translocative effect on its occupant. And we, as I mentioned before, we will actually see what happened to NSC-01's the reactor container later on. Fan supplement. Extract from formal interdepartmental complaint. The notion of fan death has now become widely known in the region, since foreign investigator Blank met with a local journalist to explain how electric fans operate at speeds that may suffocate users by overly disturbing the air. As our agency is still young, we must take care to avoid missteps. Any explanation given to the public must provide sufficient yet vague rationale that will reaffirm their certainty that ours is a stable, controlled world. We must tread carefully, especially in this increasingly technological world, with the radio and other innovations allowing information to travel at speeds previously undreamt of. This is precisely why we insist that our department handle all communications with public bodies. With all due respect, William S. Powers, head of the Department of Public Knowledge and Diversions. Oh, shit. That's good. July 28th, 1954. So, the Bureau's been around quite a long time, and obviously that was the precursor to the Department of Communications. I wonder, it's interesting because this, like, the SBC predates the oldest house by quite a margin. I'm interested in how things worked before that.
Elevator's broken. Gotta get down the old-fashioned way.
Okay, well that was entirely unsuccessful on my part. Good thing there are missing railings right there. That's definitely an OSHA violation. Okay, so you can't get in there. That's a hidden, place that gives you an ability point. If I recall correctly, unless you have hover, you can't actually get out of there and come back. So we'll do that later. And that's a door you have to unlock from the other side. Quarry equipment order. We need additional diamond blades ASAP. Continuous rim from this time to get the clean cut research wants. This Blackrock shit is tough. We're going through the blades like we're made of the damn things. The dimension of these for these slabs of Blackrock they want are outrageous. For all the grief they're causing me, these fire breaks better fucking work a treat and go ahead and double the last order. Yeah, well, it turns out not really. And over here is another place that you need hover to get across. I might be able to get across here. I cannot remember where this goes. Well, apparently it goes somewhere I can't get up without hover, so... It was a nice try.
Not what I expected.
That's pretty fucking cool if you ask me. Oh, damn it. No smoking reminder. All Bureau personnel are reminded to kindly not smoke in the quarry. Even though the quarry area is technically an outdoor space, it is still part of the Bureau, and therefore the no smoking rule does apply. Not only is it considerate towards your fellow employees to refrain from inflicting the harm of secondhand smoke, it is also prudent to avoid any risk of gas fires, unforeseen threshold reactions, and possible creation of altered receptacles. Under no circumstances should cigarette butts be left in the quarry. Thank you for your understanding. That last part kind of makes it seem like that has happened before elsewhere. Spooky. What's this dude doing? Hey, fuck you. What? What did Jesse even grab right then?
And there it is, right where you led me. The HRAs, the prisms, they mean something to you. I need to get this prism to Marshall before it's too late. HRAs, then Dylan.
It's so funny to me that we come out all the way out here where there's all this black rock, right? And apparently that one small chunk is enough to make HRAs for like everybody. Apparently the threshold did not like me taking that black rock prism though, because now there are astral spikes down there. Not that we have to go down there again, but interesting how it responded to our explosion with that. As you can see, astral spikes are they're both not affected by the hiss, and they are dangerous to both, to everybody. They do not discriminate.
Pope wants us to compile all of Darling's data entries from the past month.
She wants us to crack Darling's personal logs? He'll crucify us if he finds out. Who does she think she is, authorizing that kind of data breach?
She must think he's hiding something. And I agree. The HRAs alone are proof Darling knew more than he let on.
Yeah, I don't think you need to worry about Darling getting mad at you.
Had to take a detour into the quarry, but I found plenty. Here.
We will start HRA production immediately. I promised I'd tell you about Dylan once you helped us.
This is it. She knows.
She knows.
17 years I've waited.
Your brother is here. He was once known as Prime Candidate 6, codename P6. We brought him here after the ordinary event. He was groomed to be the future director. He had talents far beyond any other candidate in the program.
Of course he did. We found you together. We share a bond. Are you with him now?
So you kidnapped him?
We took him in. Your parents vanished along with every other adult in Ordinary. Eventually, his power changed him. There were casualties. He wasn't fit to be the director.
Did you know about this? Is this why you didn't bring me here sooner? Were you keeping me away?
Where is Dylan?
He's kept in the containment sector, in the Panopticon.
My brother. I thought we were the same. What if we are?
I'm going. Now.
I expected as much. I need to go check on something. Something I cannot let the hiss find. It shouldn't take long, but you must watch the Bureau while I'm gone. And remember, Dylan is dangerous. Do not let him out, Director Faden.
How do I make her stop calling me that? I'm not here for them. Nothing simple here. These people took my brother, but they've accepted me without question. Are they my enemies or my friends? I need to see Dylan. I need to know. I wish you could tell me what you know, explain things. Just stay with me, okay? I could use a friend right now.
That's a good omen, right? R665, huh? Ignore this.
Faden, did you find a prism?
Disrupted organisms vary so wildly. What's the connection? Jesse, when you were down in research, did you run into a Dr. Rhea Underhill?
I didn't. Who is she?
She is a colleague of mine. A researcher studying a kind of extra-dimensional mold growing below research.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
No one does. Look, I haven't heard from Rhea since the Hiss arrived. Would you mind having a look around for her next time you're in research?
Of course.
Thanks, Jesse. Now, what's on your mind?
I visited the quarry. What's the plan for all that black rock?
The Bureau has used Blackrock almost exclusively for containment purposes. See, I say, branch out. Instead of boxes, helmets. Instead of blast shields, knives.
Knives?
Yes, knives! So many combat applications. Slicing, stabbing, gouging, or... Sorry. I've been trying to get Darling to explore combat applications for years. I got a little excited.
Wow. I did not expect that from her.
I mean, that sounds useful later, but how about Blackrock bullets? I think we could go for some Blackrock bullets right about now.
This place is looking good. Arish is making real progress around here.
Right? This place is a fortress. And with him taking care of operations here, I can spend more time analyzing the Hiss. I've been attempting to isolate and neutralize the Hiss resonance in blood samples, but no luck so far.
So you can't reverse it?
Not yet, but perhaps reversing it is too simple. See, if Hiss resonance can rewrite human genetics, then perhaps it's a question of rewriting the Hiss resonance. In theory, that could pave the way for custom human genetic alteration.
I wonder how often the phrase mad scientist is used around here.
Yeah, let's hold off on the genetic mutation stuff.
How is HRA production coming along?
Better than expected. We've already made enough to get people out of a couple safe rooms. And they're here, alive, thanks to you. And we never would have lasted this long if you hadn't walked in those doors.
You deserve thanks too, of course. We got this place up and running together, Emily.
Oh, she got a little crush.
I should be going. Enjoy your data.
Oh, I will.
Linguistic ability. The Hiss manifests in human hosts in numerous ways. The most common and least intense form is seen in the many corrupted agents floating throughout the Bureau. The Hiss agents have maintained their human appearance, undergoing no obvious physical transformation. The most notable distinction from an unaffected human is the fact that they levitate. These Hiss have displayed no aggressive behavior. They only seem interested in vocalizing the strange Wait, have I read this before? Oh, yeah, okay. Researchers were sent to transcribe the recursive chant repeated by the Hiss entities. In the interest of safety, this was done with non-aggressive floating Hiss entities. However, no distinction between this repeating phrase and the one repeated by the more violent Hiss entities have been observed. What is the purpose of this repeating string of words? Is this how the Hiss corrupts individuals? Does the chant produce a physical effect? Is it a message? An incantation? We were able to record a first-hand recitation of the chanting. See the corresponding audio record.
See you when you get back.
Collins, any word on survivors?
We've located numerous safe rooms with survivors inside. We're waiting on HRAs before we open them. Once we can safely bring them out, the survivors will be escorted here straight away.
Wonderful. Keep me updated.
This is Lynn Salvador, head of Bureau Security. I'm making a formal security order due to the incident in April, case number 21HQ593. Improper use of the jukebox altered item led to 2 fatalities. We believe a pair of agents used the jukebox to travel to the quarry threshold and engage in inappropriate workplace behavior. An expedition team found them decomposing at the formation's base a week later. At least we found out the jukebox doesn't bring corpses back when the song ends. I'm having the jukebox placed in a secure location in the executive sector. It should never have been accessible to low clearance staff in the first place. The new location's security and proximity to a high traffic area will prevent misuse while still allowing for expedition teams to access it when required. See me for any further details.
No hanky-panky with the jukebox. America over... What? Why is it doing this? No, it's supposed to open... The America Overnight program has operated successfully for over blank years, originally designed to assist in providing disinformation to the naturally skeptical population of America. It has additionally led to the discovery of numerous AWEs and altered materials by allowing civilians to call in and report their experiences with the paranormal. In fact, America Overnight alerted the Bureau of blank and blank in its first year of operations alone. In this report, the investigations sector has cataloged and categorized each episode of America Overnight that has resulted in a successful Bureau investigation in order to help AWE occurrence analysis. The more blank results of Night Springs have also been cataloged in a separate report. Night Springs, that is... Okay, so originally... I don't want to get too much into it, but Night Springs is another, like, America Overnight is their TV program that is, it's similar to the real life Twilight Zone episodes, and it was written, one of the writers for the show was originally Alan Wake. And then that will tie it. I mean, it ties into Night Springs in the first Alan Wake, and then even more so in Alan Wake 2 when there is the DLC, the first DLC. No wait. Yes, the first DLC was Night Springs. It's 3 episodes, or yeah, 3 different episodes starring 3 different characters, and the what am I trying to say? Like, the theme of it is that they are episodes written by Alan Wake while he is in the dark place as ways to try to get... Well, okay, this, like, they're supposed to be about trying to get him, like, they're the characters rescuing Alan Wake out of the dark place, but they're not really like that.
Those things are killing our buddies while we babysit the execs.
You heard Marshall. We need to be smart about this. They've got control of the entire Bureau.
Fuck that. The longer we sit here, the worse it's gonna get.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong, but we just don't have enough HRAs to save everyone right now, so... Oh, a new thing. Wait, why does it keep opening on that? Employee name, Hope Emily. Employee position, junior researcher. Report type, promotion, outstanding performance. Outstanding is spelled wrong. Review. Dr. Darling has personally recommended Miss Pope for a promotion based on her work ethic and assistance in advancing many ongoing research matters. See research reports blank for breakthroughs resulting from her work. Recommendation. According to her colleagues, Pope has displayed a keen eye for detail and a quick grasp of paranatural concepts. She is professional and diligent, and though some of her co-workers complain of social disinterest, the review committee approves this recommendation and promotes Miss Pope to the position of research specialist. Collective unconscious. Oh my god. Why is this broken? Collective unconscious is defined as a form of unconscious that is shared in all human minds. From this arises unconscious knowledge linking us through our ancestral heritage. See Young Report, page 12 through 34. Through this elective unconscious, we unknowingly attribute a series of images and archetypes to all elements of our lives. These archetypes are never fixed, but shift and change in tandem with our species and culture. This internal belief in the power of images, shared by a massive population, is blank in the creation of altered items and objects of power. The sheer amount of blank exuded is attracted to the best representation of that image, imbuing a single object with massive amounts of resonance, energy, power. Theoretically, places of power could likewise be formed by the simple power of sustained collective belief. No. Okay, now we can get in this door. Whoa, what the fuck? So yeah, if you've seen the trailer for Firebreak, you know about the sticky notes. Or you've seen the sticky notes. Sticky note complaints. Oh my goodness. Come on, guys. To whom it may concern, in case you are not aware, something caused a sticky note in my office to duplicate. My office is unusable now. I will be working from home until this is resolved. You can reach me on my cell or home phone. Vice Chief of Staff. Wow. These guys sure love to keep booze and cigarettes around for someplace that's not smoking.
Sounds like the new director is handling things as well as she can. Hell of a first day.
It's ridiculous. Pope's grasping at straws.
Why? If hiss is a frequency, then why couldn't it vibrate molecules in order to alter human physiology? It would explain the hair loss.
Think about it. The precision that would require is unthinkable.
Yeah, well, we're talking about extra-dimensional entities, so what the fuck do you know, bro? Okay, multi-launch would be good, but I think I kind of need a little more energy right now. Oh, you know, why? No, I need to take the elevator.
Welcome back.
There's something we're missing.
Containment sector. Panopticon. Altered items. Maximum security prison. Dangerous.
The containment sector, the Panopticon, is home to the altered items we find and contain. It is a maximum security prison. It's a vault for the most valuable treasures on Earth. It's a powder keg big enough to blow this world to dust. A temple, a place of worship filled with idols of angry gods. It's all of these, and none of them. It's something more profound, unbelievable, unknowable. Something worse. Altered items. We've found many. They appear mundane, but nothing could be further from the truth. They are all powerful, dangerous. They press heavy on our minds because that's their nature. They've been altered because we can't stop thinking about them. We put them on altars because they're used to being worshipped. This keeps them calm. We contain them, but they don't want to be controlled. We study them to discover what makes them tick. If this place were ever breached, it would be chaos of biblical proportions.
Now, this is a thing that comes up rarely, but does happen. If you saw the painting, it was a painting of a broken wall with something behind it. If you see those paintings around the Olds's house, there are hidden areas behind them. I think there's only... I don't know. Off the top of my head, I'm sure I have not found all of them, but I think there's like 5 or 6 around the Olds's house. There's not that many. And, like, there's no way that you would know that they're... I can't even remember how I figured out, or maybe I, like, read about it somewhere, but they are there. Whoa, what happened there? Object and items distinctions. Hey, that one actually opened to the right page. While altered items and objects of power may seem similar at first, it's important to note some very key distinctions. Firstly, objects of power grant para-utilitarian abilities. Secondly, objects of power translocate anyone who makes physical contact to the astral plane. This is widely believed to be due to the board's affiliation with objects of power. Not every individual is allowed in the astral plane, which indicates the board evaluates who can or cannot enter. Thirdly, and this is not always the case, objects of power are much more paranaturally blank than altered items. Resonant, maybe? Looking at the specific criteria that defines an object of power, it is no wonder they are notably rarer than altered items. In fact, we have blank altered items for every object of power contained within the Bureau. I believe that might be the first. No, never mind. I was gonna say it's the first Ennis, the first sarcophagus, but sarcophagus is behind it, right there. So obviously that cannot be what's going on there.
Reminder, this week, any documents that suddenly appear pink, light red, or any shade in between must be incinerated immediately. Failure to do so will result in termination and possible bodily harm. Thank you for your attention.
Well, that sounds bad. Mannequin supplement. The item was last owned by Madame Blank, an operatic performer from Berlin. After her career ended in a public scandal, she relocated to Blank, Maine for reasons unknown. With her came the trappings of her old life, including this item. Locals report that she rarely left her home in the short years she spent in Blank. After her death, caused by Blank, the state held a public auction of her belongings, seeing as she had no known relatives. Various conflicting first-hand reports exist, but testimonies provided by witnesses of the event do contain some common elements. Most every witness saw numerous mannequins break through the house's windows, tumbling outside. Some witnesses report bright lights, some report high-pitched singing. These are unverified. Numerous civilians inside the house at the time of the incident were hospitalized for various injuries. 2 were crushed to death. Agents were dispatched upon seeing an article regarding these events during the Bureau's daily scans of national periodicals. The item was quickly identified and brought to the Bureau. Acquisition date, December 23rd, 1967. That's odd. Now, I'm not entirely sure what this wall is. Okay, hang on. So this is the logistics section, right? So originally I thought this wall was time. Like it was keeping track of all the different time zones, right? But like what these numbers don't correspond to any of the time. Like what the hell kind of hour is 85, you know? But I mean these clocks make more sense, but I'm not sure what those numbers on the wall represent. And this I'm not entirely sure about either. I think they are FBC remote bases. You see that one up there is Cauldron Lake. I know that, and I'm not sure what the green represents. Mysteries upon mysteries. Horowitz.
Someone needs help over there.
Do you remember that name? That was the guy, one of the two guys on the mermaid recording. You'll have to wait for a second though. We're still exploring. Pram procedures. Containment cell must be properly ventilated. Inhalation of the item's smoke causes blank. Item is a baby carriage with a black shade and steel wire wheels. Left front wheel is slightly bent, causing a distinct wobble when pushed. Item produces smoke incessantly. Smoke density varies. Smoke is generated without apparent fire or ignition source. Background. An incident in Paris in 1979 brought the pram to the attention of the Bureau. Smoke filled an antique store where the pram was being sold, killing the shop's owner. Update. Detailed records of the events leading into the item's discovery were destroyed in an incident in the Panopticon. Interviews with living witnesses were reperformed at the order of archives and record chiefs. Acquisition date, August 5th, 1979. AWE rising frequency. For some time now, there has been a steady increase in the annual number of AWEs that the Bureau responds to. Between 2010 and 2015, we responded to blank AWEs. For comparison, note that we only responded to blank between 1995 and 2005. Is this rise a result of blank improvement of our detection procedures, or perhaps simply coincidence? We cannot say for sure, which is why the proposal for an AWE task force to be created within the hierarchy of the investigation sector has been compiled. We need to spend more time examining what causes AWEs rather than just containing them. Compiled by Agent Lisa Kenham, external investigator. Okay, and apologies, I need to use the bathroom one more time before I initiate this quest. Okay, sorry for the wait. Of course, the cats got on me for lunch, and I figured I was gonna wait until I got to the Panopticon and I'm gonna quit the stream for the day after I get there, and I figured I would make lunch then, but since they were already on me and I was already delayed getting back to the stream, I figured might as well start getting something ready right now. So.
I'm here. What happened to you?
I got in a little scrap. Name's Horowitz.
Is he gonna be okay?
Don't look at me like that. I'm fine. But Wells is still in there. You gotta get him out.
Who's Wells?
My squad mate. We were hunting a runaway altered item. We followed it down into the clocks.
The clocks?
A threshold. The Bureau sealed it up years back because of all the clocks. We followed the altered item inside, but the way it was acting, we weren't ready. Me and Wells were the only ones to make it to the motel court. He was right behind me, but he never showed up on this side.
I noticed the textures behind us are fucking up now, so that's great.
Wells is the medic. Please, you gotta get him out of there. I'll be fine, really. Roop can patch me up later.
Fine. But I'll be back for you.
I damn well hope so. Just use the motel cord there. It should get you into the clocks. Sorry, the threshold.
So I got a bad feeling about this. Usually when the textures start fucking up, that's a bad sign. And I do not want to go up to medium textures, because the last time I did that is when the stream broke, so. Maybe I will just do this quest and call it for the day. Clock says it is 4:23. That was not correct. The clock says it is 8:05. Nope. Damn it. Damn it. Fuck. Good enough. I should probably see what time it was. What? No. Okay, sure. I don't know if you can hear that, but the clock, like the music. The music distorts when you're farther away. I wonder if that's a bug or if that's intentional. Maybe the resonances of the different dimension doors affect the music.
This Wells guy can't be far. Those must be the clocks he was talking about.
Shit.
Are you Wells? Your friend asked me to come looking for you.
That must be Horowitz. Glad he got out. I stayed back to help the others. Did a shit job of it, clearly.
You tried. That's enough. Horowitz needs your help now. How do we get out of here?
We should head back through the threshold. We can look for other survivors as we go.
We better hurry. Which way?
Just follow the blood. Let's go.
Okay, I want you to take a look at this. He has clearance level 9, okay? I only have clearance level 5. At this point, I would be like, give me your fucking card, bro. I need that key.
Threshold effect. This used to be a regular office wing before the threshold manifested. The forces at play in there got a hold of someone's old clock and started duplicating it. Now the office is abandoned and its clock's all the way down.
You can see how much she does not like this. Poor guy, never stood a chance. Oh. So she's got a crush on Darling. Okay, so I also want to note that Wells is the only person in this entire game who ever actually witnesses Jessie in combat or uses her abilities at all. and he has no comment on it. Like, this dude does not seem to be fazed by the fact that we have superpowers at all. Which, you know, he is pretty, used to weird stuff, but everybody else, when they hear about what Jesse can do, they're like, no, this is impossible, there's no way. And Wells is watching me do this.
So, you came down here for an altered item?
The anchor, yeah. Langston said it'd be a simple item retrieval. But the power of that thing had, I've never seen anything like it.
Postbox supplement. Agents arrived in town of Jasper Crossing, Arizona, after the communications department intercepted multiple phone calls to local authorities regarding frozen people in the streets. 4 of the 5 dispatch agents became paralyzed upon arriving at the scene. Additional assessment teams were dispatched. Variations of identification formulas were tried with ineffectual results. Agents resorted to using aerial photography to study the positioning of the paralyzed individuals. Soon after, agents discovered the event's epicenter to be the local post office. Unaffected agents cleared the area of all paralyzed civilians, animals, and Bureau personnel before beginning to study the item. Agents deemed susceptible to the item were tasked with interviewing and re-informing the public away from the site. The item was soon placed on a transport vehicle manned by unaffected agents. Air travel had been deemed too dangerous given the item's effect. Numerous reports of temporary paralysis were reported by civilians along the truck's route from Arizona to New York City. Acquisition date June 15th, 1986.
That's O'Neill. Shit. Nothing else got out.
That's O'Neill. Sorry, bud. Hey, Wells, are you gonna shoot back, or what are you doing, buddy? You just chilling?
That safe room is where the altered item cornered us. We sealed the door on the way out. We couldn't let it get out into the Bureau.
I'll need to come deal with that altered item later. If I open the safe room now, Wells could get hurt.
In fact, we have to come back much later because we need an ability we do not have yet to get over there.
We locked it tight. Come on, we need to get back to Hawkins.
Refrigerator supplement. Supplementary materials interview November 20th, 1974. Hey, can you, or actually does it say? ID Arctic Queen. Interesting. Hey, can you tell us why you left your building that day? LM, I was running out to get eggs. There was that corner store on 30th. That's why I left Michael there on his own. I knew I wouldn't be gone long. He was drawing at the table when I left. I had his crayons out, happy. The building came down when I was a block away. I ran back, started digging. City workers found Mikey later, beside the fridge. The drawings hadn't come off. Tons of bricks fall on it, and those drawings are still there. How does that happen? Hey, you kept the refrigerator after the accident. Why? LM, it still had his drawings. God must have kept them safe for a reason, right? I'd get home from work and stare at them all night. I was in a bad way back then. Why did you sell the fridge with your son's drawings still on it? They'd gotten stuck to it or something. I thought about cutting them off with those magnets, but maybe it was better I didn't hold on to them, you know? Gotta move on, everyone says. What's my fridge got to do with the building collapse anyhow? Oh, must be time to get rid of some mods. Do I have any good? Not really, okay. C speed will be good for one moment down the line. So I want to keep one C's, but other than that, these are kind of useless. Okay, and should probably see what kind of junk I got in here. That's not bad. Lots and lots and lots of clocks. With no hands on them, so you'd never be able to tell what time it is. How bitterly ironic.
When it was clear we couldn't contain the old guy, Horowitz ordered a retreat. We got out, but Hiss were waiting for us. I took Horowitz to the motel court and went back for the others.
That was brave of you.
I'm the medic. It's my job.
All the same, bud. And here, we will see later. What's that over there? Ordinary AWE, you say? Interesting. Work chat. Plane parts. Okay, Mr. Dead Dog, what do you think of this? You know that airplane we brought in? Like, the actual proper airplane? Guess who they made catalog every individual piece of that plane to be examined for suspected altered status. I had to count every bolt, nut, and piece of non-connected metal. And that's just on the exterior of the damn thing. Do you know how many pieces of hardware it takes to make an airplane? I do. I do. Yeah, it looks like the textures are still not bothering to load in all that much. And what ones are getting pretty pixely. So I think actually instead of getting to the Panopticon, as soon as I finish this mission, I'm going to call it for the day, especially since it's already been 2.5 hours, so been a decent stream. Yeah, I noticed you didn't fire your gun until after I'd killed them. Maybe this is why all your homies are dead. Oh, that was a nice stutter spike. Yeah, I really think you should let me hold on to that clearance 9 card.
Come on. The motel court is on the other side of logistics. Horowitz should still be there.
I guess I could just, you know, go out the door right here.
Let's go. Hold on. Something's wrong with him.
Shit.
Are you getting that from the big orange glow?
Horowitz. Oh God, no. You hit
I should talk to Wells. Make sure he's okay.
I'm sorry about your friend.
Thanks. And thanks for coming to get me. Horowitz's HRA must have been damaged in the threshold. Guy never put himself first. At least the anchor altered item is still locked away down in the clocks. I hope it rots down there.
That altered item needs to be dealt with before it hurts anyone else. I should go back down and contain it.
Head to the executive sector, Wells. They could use a medic.
Thank you, Director. I'll go see what good I can do there.
Well, at least one texture came back. Okay, well, I am going to head to the control point out here at Logistics, and then we are going to call it for the day. Okay, just wanted to make sure it's saved before I said anything. We made it through a whole stream without it crashing. Oh my god. Now, it looks like the textures fucked up about a half hour ago. But I suppose that is better than the game totally shitting itself. Tomorrow, we will be making our way through some more areas to get to the Panopticon to find our brother Dylan. But I hope everyone has a good Sunday, have a good rest of the weekend, and I will see you tomorrow.